All right, so first I'd like to start off with a quote by Henry Ford. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Manzer, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why you should embrace failure. In this speech, I'm going to discuss what failure is, why people fear failure, how we can overcome fear of failure, why embracing failure will change your life for the better. So first, what failure is. According to dictionary.com, failure is defined as an act or instance of failing or proving unsuccessful. Lack of success. This is how most people like to look at failure. What we don't see are all the great things that can come from it, which is one of the main reasons why we fear failure. This brings us to our next topic, why people fear failure. According to Psychology Today, failing makes you worry about what other people think of you. It makes you worry about your ability to pursue the future you desire. For example, I have had multiple opportunities to pursue something I was passionate about, but I didn't want to because I was afraid that it wouldn't pay off and that I would regret trying to do that. Also, we worry about disappointing people whose opinion we value. Failing takes a huge psychological toll on the brain, which is why we fear failure so much, but is also why it can change our life for the better. Next, how to overcome fear of failure. Number one, recognize that failure makes you feel fear and shame. Number two, focus on aspects that you can control. For example, if you're stressed because your friends were planning on hanging out with you, but you have an exam the next morning, then you should probably tell them that you can hang out another time. It's very simple. Long story short, make the decisions that will move you forward. An example of something out of your control would be stressing after you finish taking an exam. And number three, ignore the people that fuel your fear and shame. Examples of people who failed then succeeded. Thomas Edison had 1,000 failed experiments at, He had 1,000 failed experiments, but the 1,000th births was the light bulb. And now he became known as the person who invented the light bulb, not the person that has failed 1,000 times. Another example is Walt Disney. Walt Disney went bankrupt multiple times and was fired by a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination. He later became known for building Disneyland. And lastly, Babe Ruth. He held the record for the most strikeouts at one point, but people remembered him for the 714 home runs that he hit in his career, which was the home run record at the time. All right. And lastly, why embracing failure will change your life for the better. When a baby is learning how to walk, he usually doesn't just get up and start running. He starts by crawling, then tries walking, and usually fails a couple times. Then after constant trial and error, he or she usually learns how to walk and then run. With that being said, failure is a part of the learning process. If the baby decided to quit when he failed the first time, then he would be crawling for the rest of his life. This applies to everything that we do in life. You need to find what you're passionate about and put your full effort into achieving it. When putting in your full effort, you are most likely going to fail in something. When you do fail, you need to sit back and assess the situation and find out why you failed and try to learn from that in the future. Through this trial and error process, you will be learning a lot more than if you were to take the easy route. Lastly, I'd like to end with a quote by Denzel Washington. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. Thank you.